All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into this AI video software
Okay.
called Revio.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's been making some waves online, and we've got like a whole bunch of marketing materials and testimonials and things like
There's
that.
a buzz.
Yeah, and some of it's pretty out there.
Right.
So we're going to take a look at all that and try to figure out what this thing can actually do and what it all means
Yeah, what it all means.
for the future of video.
Exactly.
So basically, Revio claims that it can take any picture
Okay.
and turn it into a talking video, like a singing video.
So like an image of a person
Yeah.
or
No, like you could take a picture of like, I don't know, like Oprah or something,
Right.
and have her like promote your Etsy shop.
Wow.
Right.
Like, that's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah, yeah. And they say it's hyper-realistic.
Interesting.
So that's one of the things we're going to be looking into is like, how realistic is this actually?
Yeah, because we see a lot of these AI tools popping up and
You know, the quality can vary.
totally. It'll be interesting to see where this one falls on the spectrum.
Yeah, and I think another big question too is like, what does this mean for video
Right.
as a whole? You know, like,
Exactly.
because if this is really as easy and powerful as they say it is,
Like, is this a game changer?
yeah, is this like the end of
The end of traditional video?
stock footage and,
Right.
you know, I don't know.
Actors even, potentially.
Yeah.
It really does make you wonder.
So what do you think is this like the future of video, or is it just
I mean, it's definitely tapping into like that desire we all have, right?
Core.
To create like really engaging content, especially in the age of like,
right?
TikTok and Instagram and everything's so visual.
Yeah,
So I can see why people are drawn to it.
for sure.
But I think to really understand Revio, like we need to look beyond the hype
Okay.
and see how it fits into like the bigger picture
Got it.
of AI and content creation as a whole.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, their website makes it sound ridiculously easy. Like they say, it's 3 steps. You upload a picture, you type in what you want to say, and boom,
Wow.
Insta video.
3 steps.
They even say that they use the same technology as Hollywood studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical about that one, but
Well,
also
yeah,
very curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Like,
Yeah.
what is the truth behind that claim?
Yeah. So what do you think? What's the deal with that?
Well, I mean, marketing often simplifies things, right?
Right.
But there might be a grain of truth to this.
Right.
Like, Revio might not be using the exact same software as
Yeah.
like a big budget Hollywood studio.
Right.
But the core technology, especially something called deep learning,
Okay.
that is becoming increasingly accessible.
Deep learning.
Yeah, so deep learning is like this subset of AI. It's basically a type of AI that learns from massive data sets. It's kind of like how Netflix learns like your taste in movies,
Okay.
but on a much grander scale. So while Revio might not be Hollywood level, it's definitely leveraging these advancements to make realistic video generation possible for everyday users.
So it's like kind of like trickling down from
Exactly. It's becoming more democratized. The
Yeah.
technology is becoming more accessible.
That's pretty mind-blowing
It is.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break down like what Revio actually offers
Okay.
feature-wise.
Sure.
They talk about like flawless lip sync support for multiple languages, even the ability to like control a character's emotions.
Wow.
Like, how does that even work?
That's a lot.
Is it really that simple?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
think these features really point to how AI is evolving beyond just like generating images or text.
Okay.
Right. So, for example, to get that lip sync, right?
Yeah.
Revio likely uses a combination of like analyzing the audio and then mapping the sounds
Right.
to realistic mouth movements.
So it's like motion capture for your face,
Well,
but
exactly. But
Yeah.
AI driven. Wow.
and then for like the multi-language support and emotion control,
Yeah.
they're training their AI models on like tons of data showing different languages and emotions.
Yeah.
So the more data the AI ingests, like the more realistic and diverse its output becomes.
It's just not just like slapping a mouth on a picture and
Right.
let it talk.
It's more sophisticated than that.
There's some serious tech behind this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about like the tech a little bit.
Right.
But what about like the practical side of things?
Yeah, the applications.
Yeah, like Revio's marketing really pushes a lot of like potential use cases, like creating viral content, making business videos, even like starting your own AI business.
Okay.
Are those like realistic possibilities or is it just like
Right. Are they overselling it?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's definitely potential there,
Yeah.
right? Like, think about it. Small businesses could create, like, professional-looking videos without hiring, like, a whole crew.
Right.
Educators could make, like, really engaging lessons.
That's true. But I think we also need to be realistic.
Okay.
You know, like the market could get saturated.
Yeah.
If everyone's making AI videos and not every business model they suggest
Yeah.
is guaranteed to succeed.
Right. They highlight a few, like, success stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a single mom named Ashley who, like, supposedly built an AI studio using Revio.
Oh, wow.
It's a very inspiring story. But is that, like, typical?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
was she, like, the exception?
I think it's important to remember that like individual experiences
Right.
can vary widely.
Yeah,
Ashley's success is great,
for sure.
but it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to have the same outcome,
Right.
success in any field,
Yeah.
especially something as new as like AI-powered video.
Yeah.
It takes more than just like the right software.
Right. You need the skills, you need the strategy.
Exactly.
So you're saying while Revio might be a powerful tool,
Yeah.
it's not a magic bullet.
It's not a magic bullet.
You still need to know what you're doing.
Exactly. It's like having a fancy camera. Doesn't automatically make you a great photographer.
Totally.
You need to understand how to use it effectively
Yeah.
and develop your own creative vision.
Okay, so speaking of vision, one thing that really jumped out at me was Revio's claim that you can create videos featuring any celebrity.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
That feels like it could cross some lines, right?
Yeah, that's a huge can of worms.
Yeah.
Both legally and ethically.
Yeah.
Like using someone's image without their consent,
Right.
especially for profit,
Right.
can land you in hot water.
So even if Revio makes it technically possible
Yeah.
to have like a celebrity endorse your product,
Right.
doesn't mean you should do it.
Exactly. And beyond the legal issues, there's the question of authenticity and trust.
Right.
Like if anyone can create a video of anyone saying anything,
Yeah.
how do we know what's real anymore?
It's like that whole deep fake thing
Exactly.
taken to another level.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Okay, so we've got this whole other layer of complexity
Right.
that we need to consider. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the practical applications of Revio.
Sure, there are a lot of possibilities to explore there,
Yeah.
from the different ways people are using it
Yeah.
to the potential for earning income.
Okay.
Let's dive into those next.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Revio.
All right, so last time we were talking about like
Yeah.
potential of Revio and some of the ethical questions
Like
it raises.
Yeah.
So this time let's
Let's get a little more technical.
let's get under the hood
Okay.
and talk about how it actually works.
Sounds good.
So Revio claims to be able to take any picture
Yeah.
and turn it into a talking video.
Right?
How does that even happen?
So the magic,
Yeah.
if you want to call it that,
Okay.
is a type of AI called generative adversarial networks, or GANs for short.
GANS.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a pretty wild concept.
Okay.
Imagine like two neural networks,
Okay.
which are basically like complex computer brains
Mm-hmm. Battling it out.
battling it out.
Yeah.
That sounds intense.
It is.
Uh-huh.
So one network creates the video
Okay.
while the other acts as a judge,
Oh, wait.
constantly evaluating and refining the output until it's almost indistinguishable from real footage.
So they're like working against each other.
Exactly. It's like an AI arms race,
Wow.
pushing each other to create more and more realistic results.
That's fascinating.
It is pretty cool.
Okay, so
Right.
what about those specific features that Revio advertises?
Right.
Like the flawless lip sync, the support for multiple languages, even controlling like the emotions of a character?
Mm-hmm.
Is that all like really possible with AI?
It's becoming increasingly possible,
Okay.
thanks to some pretty impressive breakthroughs in AI research.
So like how does that work?
So, for example,
Yeah.
to achieve that seamless lip sync,
Yeah.
Revio likely analyzes the audio
Okay.
and uses facial mapping to match mouth movements to the spoken words.
So it's like motion capture?
It's kind of like motion capture.
For your face.
For your face, but driven by AI.
Wow.
And then for the multi-language support and emotion control,
Yeah.
they're training their AI models on these massive data sets of different languages and emotional expressions.
Okay.
So the more data the AI ingests,
Yeah.
the more realistic and diverse its output becomes.
So it's like learning from all these different
Instantly learning.
examples.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they also claim to have like over 150 pre-made character templates.
Right.
So even if I don't have like a specific picture in mind,
Yeah.
I could create a video with like
You could use one of their templates.
a talking cartoon animal or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those templates make it really easy to jump in and start creating, even if you're not like a design whiz.
Right.
It's all part of this trend we're seeing with AI tools
Okay.
becoming more user-friendly and accessible to a wider audience.
So you don't have to be like a tech expert
Exactly.
to use this.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's something I'm wondering. If Revio is using this like super advanced technology, wouldn't it be like super expensive?
Yeah. Right.
They keep saying there are no monthly fees.
Yeah. No monthly fee.
But is there like a catch?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Because developing and maintaining this kind of AI technology is not cheap.
Right.
So it's possible they're absorbing those costs up front,
Okay.
betting on like a large user base to eventually turn a profit.
Okay.
Or there might be limitations we're not seeing yet, like limits on the number of videos you can create or the resolution of the final output.
So it's possible there are some hidden costs.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to read the fine print.
Yeah. So Revio might be a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily like a free-for-all.
Right.
Users should definitely like dig into those details
Absolutely.
before they like take the plunge.
Do your research.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting that like Revio isn't the only player in this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There are other companies out
There
there
are a bunch of companies.
developing AI video software.
Yeah, popping up all the time. And they
Okay.
all have like their own strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, so if someone is interested in using AI for video creation,
Yeah.
what should they look for
That's a great question.
when comparing different software options?
So first, I would say, think about your specific goals.
Okay.
Like, what kind of videos do you want to make?
Oh.
What level of realism are you aiming for?
Right.
And then look at the features each software offers. Things like the accuracy of the lip sync,
Right.
the range of languages and emotions, the availability of templates.
Yeah.
Ease of use is also a big factor.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend hours wrestling with a complicated interface.
Right. For sure.
And of course, price is always a consideration.
Yeah. Especially for people with limited budgets.
Absolutely. Weigh the features and capabilities against the cost,
Right.
both upfront and any potential ongoing fees.
Okay, so we've covered like the tech side of things. But let's talk about like the potential downsides.
Right.
We touched on those ethical concerns earlier.
Yeah.
But are there other ways this technology could be misused?
Unfortunately, yes.
Like what?
I think the ability to create such realistic videos
Wow.
raises concerns about the spread of misinformation.
Okay.
Imagine someone using this to create fake news footage
Right.
or to manipulate public opinion.
Oh, wow, that's scary.
It's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like this technology could easily be weaponized for
Yeah.
malicious purposes.
Yeah. So is there anything that could be done about that?
Well, researchers are working on developing methods to identify manipulated videos,
Right.
like looking for inconsistencies in the lighting
Okay.
or like subtle artifacts in the generated imagery.
So like little glitches.
Kind of, yeah. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game, though.
Right.
As the technology evolves, so do the methods for detecting the fakes.
So it's like an ongoing challenge
It is.
to stay ahead of the people who might want to misuse this.
Exactly. It's a constant race to develop safeguards and to educate people about the potential risks.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we've talked about the tech,
Yeah.
the potential for misuse,
Right.
what to look for when choosing software. But Revio also makes some pretty bold claims
Yeah,
about the potential for earning income.
they do.
Like they even talk about people building like six-figure businesses
Now I know, right?
using their software.
It's tempting.
Is that realistic?
Let's unpack that.
Okay.
While there are definitely opportunities to make money using AI video software,
Okay.
I think it's important to separate the hype from reality.
Right.
Revio is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, its effectiveness depends on the skill and strategy of the user.
So you're saying it's not like a magic money-making machine?
Not quite.
Okay.
There's potential to earn income,
Mm-hmm.
but it requires effort, creativity, and a realistic understanding of the market.
So what are some like legitimate ways
Yeah.
people are using Revio
Yeah.
and similar software
Nice.
to make money?
So one common approach is offering video creation services to businesses.
Okay.
A lot of companies need engaging video content
Right.
for marketing or social media,
Yeah.
but they lack the resources to create it themselves.
Right.
That's where someone with Revio skills could come in
Okay.
and fill that gap.
So you could be like a freelance AI video producer.
Exactly.
Right.
You could advertise your services on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork,
Mm-hmm.
or even approach businesses directly.
Okay, cool.
Another possibility is creating and selling video templates.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a knack for design or animation,
Yeah.
you could create unique characters or backgrounds
Okay.
that other Revio users would pay for.
So you're like building a digital asset that can
Yes.
generate passive income.
Precisely. And of course, there's always the chance of creating viral content
Right.
that leads to monetization through ads or sponsorships.
Yeah, Revio highlights this story about this guy named Jason,
I think I saw that one.
who like apparently built a 6-figure business creating viral TikTok video
Yeah,
using their software.
using Revio.
Is that a realistic scenario?
I mean, going viral is often a combination of luck timing
Right.
and a deep understanding of how algorithms work.
Yeah.
It's not something you can guarantee,
Yeah.
even with the best software.
So those success stories might be more about the individual,
It's hard to
not
say.
the software.
Yeah, I think so much of it comes down to the individual's creativity and marketing savvy.
Okay. So it's not just about having the tool.
No, it's about knowing how to use it effectively.
Okay. There's one more thing that's been bugging me.
What's that?
Revio mentions being able to create videos with celebrities
Yeah,
and even suggests using those videos for like commercial purposes.
right?
Isn't that like legally risky?
It can be very risky.
Yeah.
Using someone's likeness without their permission,
Yeah.
especially for profit, can lead to serious legal issues.
Correct.
There are laws in place to protect individuals from having their image or identity exploited for commercial gain.
So even if Revio makes it technically possible to create a video
Right.
with like a famous athlete endorsing your product,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's legal
exactly.
or ethical to do so.
And even if you avoid legal trouble,
Yeah.
there's the ethical question of whether it's right to create content
Right.
that misrepresents someone's views or actions.
So it's like a moral gray area.
It is.
Yeah, it seems like with great power comes great responsibility,
I like that.
especially when it comes to AI
For sure.
and its potential impact on society.
Absolutely. As AI technology advances,
Yeah.
we're going to face these increasingly complex questions about ownership, authenticity, and responsibility.
So it's a conversation we need to be having.
We need to be having it now.
Now,
Yeah,
okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here,
we have.
from like the technical aspects of Revio
Mm-hmm.
to the business opportunities and the ethical considerations.
Yeah, it's been a pretty comprehensive deep dive.
So what's the final verdict on Revio?
Okay, so final verdict.
Yeah, is it like a revolutionary tool?
It's a tough one.
Is it a scam or is it something in between?
I'd say it's somewhere in between.
Okay.
I think Revio is a powerful tool
Okay.
with the potential to democratize video creation,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not without its limitations and risks.
Right.
So it's important to approach this technology
Yeah.
with a critical and informed perspective,
Okay.
understanding both its capabilities and its potential for misuse.
So it's not about blindly embracing or rejecting AI.
Exactly.
It's about using it thoughtfully and ethically.
Well said.
Okay. So we've explored the technology.
Yeah.
The business side, the ethics.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle to consider.
Oh, okay. What's that?
The future of this technology.
All right.
AI is constantly evolving.
It is.
And the capabilities of software like Revio are only going to become,
More sophisticated.
more sophisticated, more accessible over time.
Yeah.
So what can we expect to see in the coming years?
Right.
What are some trends on the horizon
Yeah.
that our listeners should be aware of? All right, so we're back, and we've been like really getting into the nitty-gritty of Revio,
Yeah, we've covered a lot.
all the different aspects.
Definitely.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I think the question that's on everyone's mind is,
Does it live up to the hype?
yeah, does it actually work?
Right, because we see all these testimonials.
Yeah, all these like success stories, people claiming they're making tons of money with it.
Exactly. And it's like, is that real or is there some smoke and mirrors going on?
Yeah, because they make it sound like
Right.
like anyone can just,
Create a viral video.
yeah, create a viral video, build a business.
Get rich quick.
Yeah. Have their products endorsed by celebrities,
Right.
just like that.
Yeah, with just a few clicks.
But we've talked about how,
Reality is often a lot more complicated.
yeah, it's usually not that simple.
No.
So I guess the question is like, are those testimonials legit?
Right. Are these real people?
Yeah. Are these real people having real success
Having real success with Revio.
with Revio?
It's tough to say for sure,
Yeah.
you know, without being able to like independently verify those claims.
Right.
Testimonials can be incredibly effective marketing tools.
For sure.
But they're also carefully chosen
Yeah.
to showcase the best case scenarios.
Right. We're only seeing the success stories.
Exactly.
Not the people who maybe didn't
have the same results.
Yeah, didn't have the same result, or who struggled.
Right, or who gave up.
Yeah, I guess.
We're not seeing the full picture.
Yeah, like remember Ashley?
Yeah, the single mom.
Yeah, who built that whole AI video studio.
Yeah, she was amazing.
It was super inspiring.
It was.
But is that really, like, typical?
Right. Is she the norm?
Yeah.
Or is she like an outlier?
Yeah.
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's definitely possible that her success represents like a small percentage of users who have this specific combination of skills, circumstances,
Right.
maybe even a little bit of luck.
Yeah, for sure.
The point is, we can't assume that everyone who uses Revio
Right.
is going to achieve that same level of success.
So buyer beware.
Yeah, buyer beware.
Those testimonials might not.
Tell the whole story.
Yeah, tell the whole story.
There might be more to it.
Okay. And that brings us to, like, those claims about burning potential.
Right, the money.
Yeah, Revio throws around numbers like...
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, thousands of... even 6 figures.
6 figures.
Using their software.
Yeah.
Is that realistic?
I mean, for the average person, I would say, it's important to remember that Revio is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And like the tool, its effectiveness depends heavily on the skill and strategy of the person using it.
You got to know what you're doing.
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And success in any field, especially in something as competitive as like online business, usually requires more than just having the right software.
Right. You need the skills.
You need the skills.
The strategy. The marketing know-how.
And a lot of hustle.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work.
So if someone is seriously considering investing in Revio, what are some important questions they should be asking themselves?
I think the first question is, what are your goals?
Yeah, what are you actually trying to achieve?
What are you hoping to achieve?
With this
software.
Yeah.
And then ask yourself, do you have the necessary skills and resources to actually make those goals a reality?
And are you willing to put in the work?
Yeah. Are you willing to put in the time and effort?
Even if it doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. Because it might not be as easy as the marketing makes it seem.
Right. Okay. So let's say someone decides to go ahead and try Revio.
Okay.
What are some tips for using it effectively?
Okay.
But also ethically?
I think one key tip is to prioritize quality over quantity. Don't just churn out videos for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Focus on creating content that's genuinely engaging, informative, or entertaining.
So avoid the temptation to just like slap a celebrity's face on a video.
Exactly.
And hope it goes viral.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Remember, ethical considerations should always be top of mind.
Okay.
Avoid creating anything that could be misleading or potentially harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And always be respectful of intellectual property rights.
Right.
Don't use someone's likeness or voice without their explicit permission.
Okay, solid advice.
Yeah.
So after all this discussion about Revio, what's the final verdict?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Revio, like many of these emerging AI tools, has both potential and pitfalls.
Okay.
It offers incredible possibilities for creativity, innovation, even income generation.
Yeah.
But it also presents ethical challenges and risks that we can't afford to ignore.
Right. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Not quite.
It sounds like it really comes down to how we choose to use it.
Absolutely. AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
The responsibility ultimately lies with us.
Yeah.
The users, the developers, and society as a whole, to ensure that it's used in a way that benefits humanity and doesn't create more problems than it solves.
Okay, so to wrap things up,
what's
the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
From our deep dive into Revio,
about Revio, about AI in general?
Here's my final thought. AI is more than just lines of code or fancy algorithms.
Okay.
It's a reflection of who we are as a society. Our values, our choices, and our vision for the future.
That's a good point.
So as we move forward in this rapidly changing world, let's all strive to make that reflection one we can be proud of.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
So is Revio the future of video creation? Or is it just another passing fad?
It's a good question.
I guess the answer is probably somewhere in between.
I think so.
Yeah. It's a tool with potential, but ultimately its impact will depend on
us.
On us, yeah, on how we choose to wield it.
Exactly.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today.
Yeah, it flew by.
But thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into Revio.
It was my pleasure.
It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
And To our listeners out there, keep thinking about it and watch those videos closely.
Stay curious.